What is up, y'all? Welcome back to the channel. I know it's been a while since I've posted, but you guys are getting a plethora of content coming up because, well, yeah. So to start off the stream of content you guys will be getting, we are doing the annual movie review that I know is almost 3 months late. Please don't come for me. I have been working a ton and have not had a lot of time to sit down and post. So we're going to be doing all of the movies that I saw in 2022. There were 11 of them that were major ones. And which ones were my favorite, which ones were my least favorite, and I will tell you why. The movies are as follows. They are not ranked in order just yet, but we will get into that. We have Scream, Fantastic Beasts and the Secrets of Dumbledore, Smile, Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness, Thor Love and Thunder, Enola Holmes 2, Glass Onion, A Knives Out Mystery. That was a good one. I really liked that one. Halloween Ends, The Black Phone, X, and Pearl. So, yeah, let's get into it. Now that I've told you the movies that we are discussing, let's dive into more detail about them. The best movie of the year, in my opinion, that gets the crown of the Ebling Movie of the Year, goes to Scream 5. And it gets a 10 out of 10. Super high expectations for that, I know. The movie as a whole is technically a reboot of the Scream series. So you had the first 4 movies, and then you have this one, which will set off a new trilogy, I hope. Which actually, yes, because Scream 6 comes out May 10th, we'll be getting a movie about that alone when that comes out. And as far as reboots go, Scream 5 is one of my favorites, if not my favorite. The cast was great, along with the acting. We did see some original characters come back, and we did get introduced to new ones. And I loved how they were intertwined so beautifully. One of the main characters actually was brought in as a descendant of one of the original characters who was no longer with the cast, and I thought that was really great. In this movies, the backstories of some of the characters in relation to older characters actually made a lot of sense, and kind of stuck with the original movie. The pace went perfectly. I didn't feel rushed, and it didn't bore me either. Like, with, I think, especially the last one, Scream 4 kind of just, wasn't it. The Killers 2, I honestly did not expect who the killers were gonna be, as they made it seem like it was someone else entirely. Like, I was believing this entire time that the killer was not who I thought it was. And they did really good with that. And they did a great job of just keeping the identity a secret. Like, they all had people pointing fingers at each other, and even I was pointing fingers at other people. I was like, it's this person. It was great. I cannot wait to see Scream 6, which comes out March 10th of this year. So in about not even 2 weeks from now. The second movie that was my favorite on this list is Smile, which, next to Scream, was one of the best horror movies that I saw this year. And that's saying something because most us horror fans, at least especially me, had a lot of high expectations going into this movie this year when it came to horror movies. And honestly, I felt kind of chummed. Like, I got played, bro. It gets a 9.5 out of 10. This movie was truly terrifying. Like, I almost crapped myself. The plot of this movie was amazing. The acting was amazing. The script was beautifully written. The guy who wrote and directed it, it was his directorial debut, and I cannot wait to see some stuff we're gonna get from him. It wasn't slow, it wasn't too fast, it was just right. The plot twists had me thrown for a loop, and I was just, what? I was not expecting the ending at all, so kudos to the cast and crew of this movie. You guys have blown the horror psychological thriller genre wide open. Also, with Smile, I have done a review of that movie on its own, I will link the video in the description, because you guys should definitely go watch it. And then go watch Smile, because it was really, really good. The next movie on the list is Enola Holmes 2, which was on Netflix. So I didn't see this one in theaters. I actually got to watch this at home on my own. It deserves an 8.5 out of 10. I loved this movie. In my opinion, it was better than the first one. I felt like the stakes were a lot higher. Millie and Henry did such a good job, and the chemistry, chef's kiss, was absolutely amazing. I love how we got more Enola and Sherlock scenes, which is what I was desperately hoping we would get from this movie, because the last one was kind of just like a setup for this movie. I also love how they made Enola grow as a character. She had great character development. The mystery development was great. The mystery, like I said, and the stakes of the mystery, they were so much higher than the original one that I was like on the edge of my seat the entire time. It made the movie so much more interesting. Like, I actually have watched it like 2 or 3 times since it came out, and each time it just gets better. So kudos to Netflix. You guys did a great job with that. I hope we get more. Please give me more, because I really loved how Millie did Enola. She did a great job. The 4th movie on the list, and 4th place overall, goes to Fantastic Beasts and the Secrets of Dumbledore. Gets an 8 out of 10. As a Harry Potter fan, I enjoyed the movie but was disappointed with it overall. I thought how they continued the story of Newt and his friends was great, but the movie itself felt boring. And there was one scene that had a lot of unnecessary violence that I did not think was super necessary to the movie. They did not have to show that. For the people who have seen the movie, you guys know what I'm talking about. Yeah. The acting from the actors was great, but I've said it once and I'll say it again. The script is bad. If the script is bad, the movie is bad. I'm a huge Harry Potter fan, but this movie kind of felt like a letdown. Like, I enjoyed it, but I also felt like I kind of got let down. Like, my expectations were here for this movie. It should have been here. Like, this is the level of where the movie was. My expectations were up here. So I had to bring it down a lot. But I saw this movie 2 or 3 times, and it was good. It just... Did it help the franchise? Not really. What I did like about it, though, was that we got to see more of the Dumbledore-Grindelwald story. And I enjoyed that, because I liked learning about more of Dumbledore's history, because when I originally watched the original Harry Potter movies and read the books, Dumbledore was always a little bit of a mystery. So I like how they're doing that and they're filling in that storyline. I'm hoping the next movie will be better if they make another one, but with the reactions and the kind of the disappointing vibes that people got from this movie, I'm not entirely sure. But you guys have another chance to redeem yourselves. You're still pretty high up on the list, though. The 5th movie on this is Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. Gets a 7.5 out of 10. I loved it, don't get me wrong. I loved how they made Wanda the villain, and her motivation behind it is completely understandable. But it just felt like, Wanda, Doctor Strange, and America was great. Loved them, their characters. Would totally love to see another movie with them. But at the end of it all, I felt like I had more questions than answers. And the movie just kind of felt confusing to me. I felt like right now it's just there. I love how it follows up WandaVision, and I love how it sets up for us to see more of the multiverse, which I'm super excited about. But my expectation for it was way higher than I thought it would be. But other than that, it just kind of felt iffy. There were great moments, I will admit. We got to see the Fantastic Four, we got to see Captain Marvel. we got to see Charles Xavier. Like, they brought in Charles Xavier for this movie, which I thought was absolutely great. And we got to see how, when you mess with the multiverse, things happen. But I felt like when it came to the multiverse, Spider-Man No Way Home did way better than Doctor Strange did. So, overall, felt like a drag. Do better next time. Sixth movie on the list and sixth ranking overall is Thor: Love and Thunder, and it gets a 7 out of 10. As a Marvel fan, I love how they brought Jane back. We get to see Jane Foster as, oh gosh, I think it's Lady Thor. Let me double check. I want to make sure I told you guys right. Mighty Thor. That's it. She was Mighty Thor. She did a great job. I just was very disappointed in the fact that they killed her off at the very end. I was so mad about that. I was like, well, what's the point in bringing her back if you guys are just gonna kill her off, you know? Like, that's just how I felt. I was like, you guys are killing her off. What's the point of that? Thor did really have such great character development. Like, he went from the sad, depressed Thor that we saw at the end of Endgame and all of that to a whole better version who was ready to die for the people he loved. Now this movie, I'm sure in the bigger picture, there is a point to it. Just to me, it felt like it really had no point. Like, what did it bring to the MCU other than the fact that we might get another hero from it? The little girl at the end. It seemed pointless, to be honest with you guys. Overall, it was a good movie, just not my favorite. So that's why it gets the score that it did. Number 7 on the list was Glass Onion. It gets a 6 out of 10. Good movie overall, just not my favorite out of the 11 that I saw this year. So, would I watch it again? For sure. Will I probably watch it again after filming this? Probably. If anything, I do prefer the first movie. I just thought the mystery was better. The cast was better. All of that. This movie's mystery was good, and everything just kind of felt corny. Honestly. I'm not saying that the cast did a bad job. The cast was great. Everyone did a great job. And I was so glad to see that Daniel Craig came back as the detective. And we even get to see, like, Madeline Klein, who's a rising star with Netflix, who's from Outer Banks, all of that. I just preferred the first movie. And it just felt overplayed, you know? Like, it felt like it was something that had been done before. Daniel Craig was great. Carried this movie on his back. Showed everyone. But there were good plot twists. There were some things that I was not expecting. And overall, it was good. Just, it wasn't my favorite movie ever. So, it was kind of like right in the middle. So that's why it got the ranking it did. Number 8 on this list is Halloween Ends. I am so disappointed with this. And as the title states, it was the end of the Halloween saga. For right now. I have a feeling we'll get more Halloween movies, but for right now, that was the end of the Halloween saga as we know it. And to be honest, I am fucking disappointed in this movie. I was so disappointed in how it ended. We hardly got any Michael screen time. They brought in a whole new character just to kill him off at the end. At the end of the movie. Like, what the fuck? What was the point of that? I did not get it. And this character literally was brought in to be Michael's apprentice. He ended up taking down Michael Myers. Like, they got into a fight, and Michael Myers ended up getting his ass kicked by this character. This movie made no sense at all. And I was very disappointed in it. Like, I understand, like, you just, after a while, you can't... Sorry, gotta adjust. After a while, you run out of options of how to carry things, but I feel like Halloween and Kills should have been the end. I was very disappointed with the final fight scene between Michael and Laurie. It was very anticlimactic. I figured there would be way more action between the two of them. So, overall, this movie fucking sucked. And I am glad I did not pay, like, $20 for two people to go see this movie, because it sucked. It was not worth my time. And I'm gonna give it a 3 out of 10 because of that. So, movie number 9 on the list was The Black Phone. And this movie, again, disappointed me. They hyped up this movie so much. I was seeing it all over TikTok. I saw it on TV commercials. I saw it on just ads where I was just scrolling. It was popping up everywhere. And it flopped. I was really excited for this movie because I thought it was going to be good. And I mean, it had Ethan Hawke in it. And Ethan Hawke did a great job. The acting and the premise of the movie was great, but the script itself, in my opinion, was so bad that the acting or anything else could not save this movie. Ethan Hawke played the villain and did a good job, great even, but this movie just could not be saved. It was doomed from the beginning. It was slow, it was boring, and it seemed all over the place. I legit have no words for how disappointed I was in this movie. And therefore, it's getting a 2 out of 10. Like, just straight 2 out of 10. Movie number 10 on this list, and second to last, is X. Holy fucking shit, what in the ever-living fuck was this movie? Just those thoughts alone, but this movie was a clusterfuck. There's basically no plot, the script sucked, CGI was iffy at best, and yeah, it was basically it was bad. The only good thing was the cast, and even then I just didn't connect with any of the characters. Either way, and the fact that everyone died minus one person was overrated, and it wasn't even that great. Like, the only unique kill that we got was that someone got stabbed in the eye with a pitchfork. That was the only creative killing that I saw. Like, he got stabbed in the eye with a pitchfork, and that is the only one we had not seen before. And I understand there's only so much you can do in the horror genre before it becomes repetitive. But this movie just wasn't it. And it gets a 1.5 out of 10. Because this movie was completely not it. Like, yeah. Just wasn't it. And movie number 11, and the final movie on this list is Pearl. It is the prequel to X, and it's even worse than X, in my opinion. And I am giving it a 1 out of 10. Because I don't have the heart to give movies 0 out of 10s, because I understand that making a movie takes a lot of work. And I firmly state that this was probably the worst movie I saw in 2022. Or of all time. I saw no point in this movie whatsoever. Mia Goth, her acting was great. I loved her. She did a good job. But I didn't really see a point in the movie. I tried getting into it. I really did. I tried to get myself hyped up on it. I did. But overall, I felt like it flopped. and I think it flopped for 2 reasons. One, lack of advertising. But then again, advertising doesn't really mean everything. But like most people, especially me, I did not know this movie was coming out until I went and saw X. And then I knew that that movie was coming out because they end credited it. I saw it on TikTok, but that's pretty much it. Other than that, I don't think I would have known it was coming out. Same with X. There just wasn't very much advertising for these 2 movies. Even in the theaters, like they were in the smaller theaters, and there was almost no advertising for them. And 2, the movie, it just sucked. It was bad. This was like another one of those instances where if the script sucks to a point where it just sucks, then the movie cannot be saved. And again, that's what I felt like was happening with X, Pearl, and the Black Phone. The last 3 movies on this list are some of the harshest reviews I feel like I've ever done. And that was just because it felt like the script was beyond saving. And I'll give credit to where credit's due, where they tried. They tried. It just, in my opinion, the movies sucked. So. And that is the end of this video. Thank you guys for listening to the 2nd annual yearly movie review. Please tell me what your favorite show or movie from this year was. As always, I love you guys, and keep an eye out for new content headed your way. Bye! Again, I'm sorry you guys had to sit here and listen to me harp on these movies. They just were not it at all. Not it. Bye!